So compared to a lot of other cities, DC's really not that big, and yet we have so many neighborhoods. Just look at this map right here. But here's a question, where did those names come from? That's our why of the day. Why do neighborhoods have the names that they do? And today we're going to focus on just a couple of the most interesting ones. Let's start with Adams Morgan. Going into this one, I figured, hey, it's probably just named after some guy named Adams Morgan who lived here a long time ago. Turns out that's not the case. It's actually named after two schools in the segregation era. There's John Quincy Adams Elementary, a school for white students, and Thomas P. Morgan Elementary for black students. In 1954, segregation became unconstitutional, so the communities from Adams and Morgan came together to try and unite. They created what's called the Adams-Morgan Better Neighborhood Conference. And that name, representing the racial unity, stuck over the years, and so did the hyphen. Okay, let's move on. How about Anacostia? Turns out this one is named after a Native American nation that used to live here. At the time, the area was known as Nacotchtank. And yet when the Europeans arrived, they had little respect for them, and actually, they just sort of butchered the name. Anacostia is just a mispronunciation of Nacotchtank. That's disappointing. What about Shaw? Well, it turns out this one is all about this old building on 7th and Rhode Island. I'm talking about the former Shaw Junior High School. Turns out the school had the name before the neighborhood. It was named in 1919 after Robert Gould Shaw. He led one of the first official black units of the Union Army. The school was really well known in the black community, but it was starting to deteriorate over time. In fact, they started calling it Shameful Shaw because the conditions got so bad. Enter this man, Reverend Walter Fauntleroy. He led a community effort to try and fix up the school and the community. From there, the name Shaw just started to represent the whole area. It stuck. So that's why these neighborhoods have the names that they do. All right, so huge shout out to the place where I am right now, the Anacostia Community Museum. They helped me out with all of this. I asked a lot of questions they took the time to answer. They've got this exhibit called A Right to the City, where they look into the history of 6 communities, including those 3 that we just talked about. So definitely come check it out. Also, they got a block party this Saturday. They're gonna have some bands there. The Blackbirds are gonna be there, a famous go-go band. So that's gonna be kind of fun. It's gonna be from, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Coming up this weekend on Saturday. Do you have a why question? You can contact me on Twitter at @Koslof, on Facebook at Evan Koslof Reporting, or you can just shoot me an email, ekoslof@wsa9.com.